Ooh, we're here once again. I was just scratching my ear while we was watching a video or something like this. Yeah. We're talking about how people hand out advice that they're not really qualified to hand out. We're gonna go to sword fencing for this because I read a lot of sword fencing manuals, but I get a lot of advice from people that have no idea the first thing about sword fencing. They're like, you know what I do in a sword fight? I'm like, you probably do something to get you killed in a sword fight. Like, you do 100%, 99.99% of you out there on Facebook would be deaded. And just don't. Just don't. Just like, for reals, don't. Because every time you talk to me about what you think about sword fighting for something you saw from the movies, you sound like an idiot. And that happens all of the time. At least once a week. Somebody comes up to me like, Timmy, I know about sword fighting. I watched the movie, dude. It's like people that see fighting like, I've been in a fight before, I know about that. No, you don't. You have no idea, but you're still sitting here giving advice to the guy who's read more books than you've read in your whole life. Most people give you advice that they think is sound, but they have no idea what they're giving advice about. It might have worked one time for them, and for reasons they can't even fathom. And they're like, but this one time, we stick a coat hanger in the radiator of a car and it started. And they're going to tell people, like, if you stick your coat hanger in there, you bang it around, start it up. It's not going to work. It just worked out one time. Okay, we're going to go to sword fencing. A lot of people tell me, like, all right, Tim, I don't even block, okay? That's a waste of my time. You don't parry in a sword fight. Cool. Don't parry against me. I'll kill you dead. I don't have to parry. I know the thing called spacing. I know these things about spacing because I've read books. Because I've studied it. I don't just come up to people like, I watched Kill Bill, and I tried to hit one of my friends with a stick one time because it made me mad. Let's talk about sword fighting. That's exactly what people do. That's only sword fighting. They will tell you about that and everything. They'll be like, well, let's see, computers. Oh, yeah, people tell you all sorts of stuff about computers these days. All sorts of stuff about computers. Well, I think it's this. Cool, it's not that. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's not that. You're totally wrong. They'll tell you about sword fencing, computers, cars, anything. Anything you can come up with. About half of the people you're going to talk to about it are going to give you something conceived off of just what they saw in Hollywood or something that has no basis in fact or evidence or has never faced any sort of check, any sort of test. It's just... They're just telling you they're just telling you completely unfounded thoughts. Timmy, is that what you do? No. No. Not at all. Sometimes. Sometimes I gotta make a video, I'm like, what am I gonna talk about? I just make something up. Was that today? No. No. No.